Welcome back to my channel. So today we are gonna discuss part 2 of human health and disease. I'll share the link in the description below of part 1. Do watch it. Now let's see the definition of disease and its types. So any condition which interferes with the normal functioning of the body and impairs the health is known as disease. So there are two types of disease. First is congenital disease and second one is acquired disease. Congenital disease means what? It means it is present in born and it can be genetically inherited. And acquired disease means the disease which is developed after birth. Okay, congenital disease can be due to gene mutation, for example, hemophilia, and disease due to the chromosomal mutation, example is Down syndrome. Acquired disease can be communicable or infectious disease, so which can take place through air, water, food, physical contact, or vectors. So the infectious disease can be caused by bacteria, virus, protozoa, elements, fungus, etc. So they can be transferred from one person to another. Non-communicable or non-infectious disease are the disease which cannot be transferred from one person to another. So for example, diabetes, arthritis, cancers, and allergic disease like asthma, they cannot be transferred from one person to another. Now let's see what is vector. So an organism, typically a biting insect or a tick, transfers a disease or a parasite from one animal to another. So basically this insect is a vehicle which transfers the parasite from one organism to another organism. Okay. Second is parasite. So what is parasite? Is an organism that lives in or on the body of the another organism and derives its nutrition from that of the host organism. So they are of two types. First is ectoparasite and endoparasite. Ectoparasites example is lice which are present in the hairs and they derive the nutrition from the human. And endoparasite, the example is malaria. So disease which are easily transferred from one person to another are called as infectious disease, and among a non-infectious disease, cancer is the major cause of death and pathogen is nothing but a disease causing organism. This is important. Disease causing organism are known as pathogen. Now let's see the disease caused by the protozoas, that is nothing but a parasite. So first is malaria. So malaria is a vector borne disease, that means a vector is used, that is mosquito, which acts as a vehicle and transfers infection from the patient to a healthy person. So the pathogen which is involved or the parasite which is involved is known as Plasmodium, which are four types: Plasmodium vivax, Plasmodium malariae, Plasmodium ovale and Plasmodium falciparum. So out of these four, Plasmodium falciparum is a malignant malaria, that means it can cause death. Organs affected in malaria are liver and RBCs, that are nothing but erythrocytes. So the method of transmission is by biting of female Anopheles mosquito, which is a vector. And what are the symptoms of it? So there is high fever and chill. Fever occurs on every alternate day. There is also vomiting, headache, body pain, etc. Now let's see the cycle of malaria parasite, that is Plasmodium. So whenever a vector, that is female Anopheles mosquito, bites a host, that is human, they release these sporozoites into the bloodstream. Now these sporozoites enter into the liver and they get transferred into mature cystoids. Now this mature cystoid then enter into the red blood cells and they form into merozoites. Now these merozoites get ruptures the RBCs and they release into the bloodstream. Now in the bloodstream they form into male and female gametocytes. Now when the mosquito, this is female Anopheles mosquito, again bites a patient, these gametocytes get transferred into them, and then in the reproductive system, in Anopheles mosquito reproductive system, this male and female gametophyte fuses and forms a zygote. Now this zygote again leads to formation of sporozoid. Now when this female Anopheles mosquito bite another person or another human, this sporozoid will enter into the bloodstream and the cycle will go on continuously. So this is the cycle or how malaria get transferred from one person to another. Moving on to the diagnosis and treatment. So diagnosis is based on microscopic study of blood smear. So you will see somewhat like this structure in it. Second is rapid diagnostic test based on nucleic acid amplification. Now the treatment part includes artemisinin combination therapy, which includes these four drugs. Prevention, moving on to the prevention. So first is apply insect repellent to exposed skin like hands and face. Use a mosquito net over the bed. Spray and insecticides and avoid stagnant water. Mosquito larvae can be controlled by using gambusia fish in fresh water. Moving on to the second type of parasitic infection, which is amoebiasis, which is also known as amoebic dysentery. So the pathogen which causes is Entamoeba histolytica, an intestinal protozoan parasite, which means this parasite resides inside the intestine of the humans. So the organ affected are large intestine. So how is the method of transmission? So the first is housefly acts as a mechanical carrier as the cysts of this pathogen, that is Entamoeba histolytica, are found in the intestinal discharge, that means in the feces, the possibility of infection to the healthy person is through contaminated water or improperly washed or cooked vegetables and fruits. So whoever who defecate, infected person, if defecate in the public in the farm, they can get fruits and vegetables can get contaminated, and when they are consumed by the healthy person, this leads to transmission. The second is the pathogen can also be transmitted through the dirty hands. Moving on to the symptoms. So this parasite lives in the large intestine and destroys the mucous membrane. This causes bleeding and ulcers that produces dysentery. Dysentery means diarrhea in which there is blood. Hence patient passes out blood and mucus with the stools. There is severe pain in the abdomen, nausea, fever and nervousness. Stools with excess mucus and blood clots. So what is the prevention? So first is proper disposal of the fecal material of the patient, that is to avoid defecation in public area or in open area. Vegetables and fruits when used raw should be thoroughly washed. Water should be boiled before drinking. Moving on to the third type of parasitic disease, which is known as Ascaris. So it is caused by Ascaris lumbricoids, which are also known as roundworms, helminths. So epidemiology means how they are transferred. So consumption of contaminated water, vegetables, fruits, etc. Contamination takes place through feces of infected person which have the eggs of this parasite. So if the food or water is contaminated through this Ascaris lumbricoids, this leads to ascarisis. So the target organs is intestine. So what are the symptoms? The internal bleeding of the intestine, mucosal plain, fever, anemia, blockage of the intestinal block. So this Ascaris lumbricoids is nothing but it is also known as, in Hindi it is known as Kide Padna. So let's see the diagnosis and treatment. So diagnosis is based on microscopic examination of stools. Drugs like pipazine, mebendazole, levamisole and pyrantel are used. Prevention and control. So avoid defecation in open space. Personal hygiene habits like washing hands with soap after toilet and washing vegetables properly. Moving on to the fourth type of parasitic disease, which is elephantiasis, also known as filariasis. So the causative organism or the parasite is Vaucheria bancrofti or Vaucheria malai, which is also known as filarial worms. So the epidemiology is, that means how is it is transformed: bite of female mosquito which acts as a vector or a vehicle. The name of the mosquito is Culex. Now the target organs are lymphatic vessels of the lower limbs and the genital organs. So what are the symptoms? So there is a chronic inflammation of the organ. So it takes for many years, it is present since many years, and the lymphatic vessels which results in appearance of elephant-like leg, hence it is known as elephantiasis, as you can see over here. There is also deformation of the genital organ. There is something which is known as lymphedema, which means accumulation of the lymph fluid in the tissue which causes the swelling. As you can see over here, this is known as lymphedema. There is collection of lymphoid fluid in the tissues. And there is something which is known as hydrocele. So, moving on the treatment part, so give the medicine diethyl carbazamine citrate, and prevention and control is same as malaria, that is to apply the malarial or mosquito repellent, use mosquito nets and spray insecticides. Let's see the diseases which are caused by bacteria. So the first bacteria which we are going to study is Salmonella typhi, which causes typhoid. So it is transferred through contaminated food and water, enters in small intestine and migrates to other organ through blood. So as it enters through small intestine, that means they are present in fecus. So the symptoms are fever, which is sustained high fever, weakness, stomach pain, constipation, headache, loss of appetite. Severe case, it may cause intestinal perforation and deaths. Confirmation of the disease is through Vidal test. So mode of transmission is through contaminated food and water. Now the insects and the cockroaches feeds on the fecal matter which contains Salmonella typhi, and then they transfer the bacteria to the food material. So the poor hygiene habits and the poor sanitization can lead to transmission of bacteria. Now this is Salmonella typhi, which contains O antigen inside and H antigen on the flagella, as you can see over here, and which are responsible for causing the disease. Moving on to the treatment part, so antibiotics like chloromycin can be used as it is a bacteria. So antibiotics have been used and vaccines have also been introduced. It can be oral vaccine or it can be injectable vaccine. Moving on to the common cold, so which is caused by rhinovirus and coronavirus. So what is epidemiology? So the inhalation of droplets of cough or sneeze of an infected person. It can also get transmitted through contaminated objects. What are the symptoms? So the symptoms are nasal congestion and discharge, sore throat, hoarseness of voice, cough, headache, tiredness. There can be also fever with chills. Mostly nose and respiratory tract passage is only involved, but sometimes if the immunity is low, lungs can get involved also. Symptoms usually last for 3 to 7 days. Now what is the prevention method? So staying away from the person suffering from common cold, washing hands with soap and water, using handkerchief while sneezing, sanitize yourself properly. Moving on to the next type of disease, which is known as pneumonia. Pneumonia is nothing but inflammation of the lungs. It mostly affects the alveoli of the lungs. So causative agents are Streptococcus pneumonia and Haemophilus influenza, which are bacteria, and the virus like influenza virus, adenovirus, para-influenza and coronavirus. Now, what is the epidemiology? So, inhalation of droplets released from or by an infected person and by sharing glasses and utensils with the infected person. So, what are the symptoms? The disease developed by causing infection in the respiratory tract. So, the alveoli due to infection get filled with fluid. So, severe problems in respiration. Symptoms include like fever, chills, cough, headaches. Severe cases, lips and fingernail may also turn grey to bluish in color. That means they does not get proper oxygen and hence they turn into blue. Diagnosis is through sputum examination and through chest x-ray. Treatment is through antibiotics and prevention is through vaccine. Moving on to the other type of infection, which is ringworm, which is caused by a fungal. For this, I will say only one word, that is itchguard. I hope you got it. So the causative agents are Microsporum, Trichophotum and Epidermatophytons, which are fungi. So epidemiology is acquired from the soil. This fungi can enter into the skin from soil using towel, clothes or even comb of the infected individual. Heat and moisture enhances the growth of this organism. So this fungal infection or ringworm are more common in summer. Target organs are skin, nails, folds of skin in the groins and toes. What are the symptoms? Appearance of dry, scaly lesion in the skin, nails and in scalp. Lesion accomplished with intense itching. There is intense itching present. What are the preventions? So avoid close contact, sharing clothes, and wash clothes in warm water. Now let's do the revision of disease which we have done till now. So typhoid disease, which is proved by Vidal test, which is caused by Salmonella typhi. So the symptoms are sustained high fever, weakness, stomach pain, constipation, and the effect can be intestinal perforation, and death may occur in severe cases. Second, we saw pneumonia, which is caused by Streptococcus pneumonia, Haemophilus influenza, and also by the viruses. So the symptoms are fever, chills, cough, and headache. Alveoli get filled with the fluid, leading to severe problems in respirations. Common cold, which is caused by rhinovirus and coronavirus. So the symptoms are nasal congestion, discharges, sore throat, cough, and headache. Infect the nose and the respiratory system. Malaria, which is caused by Plasmodium. There are four types: Vivax, Malariae, Falciparum, and Ovale. Chills and high fever, reoccurring 3 to 4 days. Parasite multiply within the liver cells and then attack the RBCs. Amoebiasis or amoebic dysentery, which is caused by ant amoeba histelica. The symptoms of constipation. No, it's not constipation, but it's abdominal pain, cramps, stomach, mucus, and blood clots. Infect the large intestine. Ascaris, which is Ascaris lumbricoides. So the intestinal bleeding, muscular pain, fever, anemia, etc. So healthy person gets infected through water, vegetables, etc. Elephantiasis or filariasis, which is caused by Wucheria, Bancrofti, and Melia. Inflammation in the lower limbs and genital organs. Lymphatic vessel of the lower limbs get blocked. Ringworms, which is caused by fungus like Microsporum, Triphyton, and Epidermophyton. So appearance of dry scaly lesion on various parts of the body and infect the skin, nail, and the scalp. Moving on to the most common non-communicable disease, that is cancer. So what is cancer? It is an uncontrolled cell division leads to production of mass of cells which are known as cancer. As you can see over here, this is a mass which is formed into a tumor. So the cancerous cell just divide continuously to give rise to the masses of cell which is known as tumor. So there are two types of tumor. One is benign tumor and other is malignant tumor. So benign tumors are small, slow growing, non-invasive. That means that does not invade into the other organs, well differentiated and stay localized. Stay where they are and cannot invade or metastasize. Malignant tumors are fast, large growing, invasive. That means they invade into the other neighboring organs. Poorly differentiated, metastasis, that is infiltrate, invade and destroy the surrounding tissues, then metastasize to other parts of the body like brain, liver, lungs, etc. Now let's see what are the causes of cancer. So the normal cell get transformed into cancerous neoplastic cells by physical, chemical, and biological agents. So there are three agents: physical, chemical, and biological. These agents are called as carcinogens. So physical agents are nothing but X-rays, gamma rays, and UV rays. Chemicals like tobacco smoking, sodium diazide, methyl ethanyl sulfonate, polycyclic hydrocarbons, also product of consumption of coal and oil, caffeine, nicotine, etc. Biological agents are cancer causing viruses called as oncogenic virus, and the gene which they contain is known as viral oncogenes. So this leads to transformation of neoplastic cells. That means what? These viruses are known to cause cancers. Then there is something which is known as cellular oncogenes or proto-oncogenes in normal cells, which are normally present but they are inactive. But once they get activated, they lead to formation of cancer cells. Now moving on to the treatment of cancer. So first is surgical. So cancerous tissue can be surgically removed. Second is radiotherapy. That means the tumor cells are irradiated lethally by radiations. Chemotherapy means drugs are used to kill the cancerous cell but show side effects like hair loss, anemia, etc. Immunotherapy, patients are given alpha interferon which activates their immune system and helps in destroying the tumors. Supportive treatment is also given to improve the quality of life of cancer patients. Now, moving on to the next type of disease, which is known as AIDS, which is acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. Immunodeficiency itself says that the immunity is decreased. So, deficiency of immune system that acquires during the lifetime is known as acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. It is a syndrome which means it carries groups of symptoms. So, the AIDS was first reported in 1981. AIDS is caused by a virus which is known as HIV virus, which is human immunodeficiency virus. The name itself says that it decreases the immunity of the humans. HIV virus is a retrovirus having RNA as a genetic material. Now, the method of transmission is through sexual contact with the infected person, transfusion of contaminated blood and blood products, sharing infected needles as intravenous drug users, and from infected mother to the fetus through the placenta. Now, what HIV virus causes? HIV virus enters the T lymphocyte and makes them inactive, and hence body immunity decreases. Make sense? Clinical manifestation of HIV infection. So there are four stages. First is HIV, acute HIV infection, which lasts from 2 to 8 weeks, and in this period there is formation of antibodies. Second comes asymptomatic infection, which lasts from 6 months to 10 years. There are no signs of disease during this period. Third comes persistent generalized lymphadenopathy. That means there is raise in or increase in size of lymphoid tissues. AIDS-related complex includes symptoms like fever, recurrent fever for longer than 1 month, fatigue, unexplained diarrhea, night sweats, shortness of breath, loss of more than 10% of body weight. Now, lastly, there is AIDS, that is acquired immunodeficiency syndrome, in which what happens is life-threatening opportunistic infections. Like normally, a healthy body can fight against that infection, get infected like pneumonia, tuberculosis, and there can be development of capsular carcinoma, etc. So the diagnosis of HIV infection is based on ELISA, which is known as enzyme-linked immunosorbent assay. So prevention of AIDS is AIDS have no cure. Prevention is the best option. Safe blood for transfusion, use of disposable needle, free distribution of condoms, prevention of drug abuse, advocating safe sex, and promoting regular checkups. So the treatment is there is actually no treatment, but you can use antiretroviral drugs, helps in reducing the viral load and prolong the life of the HIV patients. Now let's see about drug and alcohol abuse. So drug is a chemical substance which has biological effect on human and animals. Drugs commonly abused include opioids, cannabinoids, and coca alkaloids. Proper education and guidance would enable youth to safeguard themselves against this dangerous behavior pattern and follow a healthy lifestyle. So first, moving on, opioids, which are drug binds to opioid receptors in the CNS and gastrointestinal tract. So example is morphine and heroin. So morphine is obtained from poppy plant, latex of poppy plant. They act as a sedative and painkiller. Hence, they are also given after surgery. Heroin, which is a brittle white colorless crystalline compound which is obtained by acetylization of morphine. It is taken by snorting and injections, act as a depressant and slow down the body functions. Second type, which is cannabinoids, which is the chemical which interact with the cannabinoid receptors which are present in the brain. So they are produced from the plant which is known as cannabis sativa. marijuana, hashish, ganja, and charas, produced by various combination of flower tops, leaves, and resins of cannabis plant. They are taken by inhalation and oral ingestion, affects cardiovascular system of the body. Third type, which is cocaine, which interferes with the neurotransmitters, that is dopamine. It is taken by smoking. It stimulates CNS and induce euphoria. That means there is increase in happiness and increased energy. Higher dose may lead to hallucination, as you can see over here. Now halogens, which are not produced by the plants like Atrophia belladonna and datura. Alcohol, it is a depressant and it affects the CNS. It also affects the liver and it makes the person reckless and violent. We all know the term about addiction and dependence. So first let's see what are the causes of drugs and alcohol abuse. So first is out of curiosity, youngsters needs to try, need of adventure, excitement, experimentation to escape from stress and unsupportive family structure. With repeated use of drug, alcohol, the tolerance level of receptors in our body increases and consequently they respond only to higher doses of drugs and alcohol. Now this is known as addiction. If the regular dose of drugs and alcohol is abruptly discontinued, the body manifests characteristics and unpleasant withdrawal symptoms which may cause anxiety, nausea and sweating, and they may need the urge that they need their drug or alcohol. Now this is known as dependence. Now what are the effects? So the immediate effect are there is reckless behavior, vandalism and violence. Excess dose can lead to coma and death due to the cerebral hemorrhage, respiratory and heart failure. A combination of drugs or their intake with alcohol leads to death. The most common warning signs of drugs and alcohol abuse includes drop in academic performance, lack of interest in personal hygiene, withdrawal and isolation from family and friends, aggression and rebellious behavior, lack of interest in hobbies, change in sleeping and eating habits, and fluctuation in weight. Now, what are the prevention and control? So, avoid undue peer pressure, educating and counseling to face problems, stress, and to escape the failures. Help from parents and peers, and professionals and medical help can also be given. Thank you. Hope you like this video. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and share your views in the comment section below. Till then, bye. And hope you see the part 1 of this video.